Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, okay.
飲啖先。
飲啖先啦。
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 啊，
嚟飲啖先。Cheers.
Cheers. Hi everyone, welcome back to Among the Strong. Today we are not inviting you to dive into the stories of trailblazers because it's just us. It's your three main besties, Timmy, Crystal, and Match. Consider this like a side conversation to the main podcast, where we talk about like things we're interested in, we're curious about.
Current events.
Yeah.
Or just, stuff.
Interesting topic in general.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Would you
we're
like to introduce?
We are gonna
today?
talk about the topic straight away, right? We're gonna talk about
Yeah.
recession indicator today.
Yeah, recession indicators.
For
yeah.
Gen Z, by the way.
For Gen Z.
Yeah, it's different from your normal recession indicator.
True. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, for Gen Z. Gen Z think differently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So what? Okay. So give me the first indicator.
Indicator. Lipstick?
Okay.
Lipstick?
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, because lipstick considered like a luxury small purchase, it doesn't really hurt your wallet that much. So so basically, what they thought is basically, so long the lipsticks are selling well, that also means that the recession is also on its way. Yeah,
What if it
Wait,
still
if
sells
it's
well?
selling
it's
well?
selling well.
Oh, okay.
Because
selling better.
selling better than the usual expensive
Okay.
big ticket item.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that I sort of agree on, but it's Gen Z, right? So it's I've got the same sort of indicator, but it's with Labubus.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because no, because Labubus are like small. They're like small luxurious purchases because you don't need them.
Yeah.
But instead of buying like I don't know, not everyone's buying a Birkin, but
Yeah.
it's like instead
Yeah.
of buying a Birkin,
Yeah.
people are buying small items that make them feel good. So
Yeah.
that could be Labubus or
Right.
anything. So it's like instead of making big purchases, you make a lot of small purchases that make that sort of like compound your satisfaction.
Right.
But first, I think it's very important to define what a recession is.
Okay.
So a
Yeah.
recession is a noun, and it means a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters. So if GDP is down for like half the year, then okay, we're in a recession. It's basically if people are buying less random shit, it's a recession.
Yep.
Oh wait, hold on, buying less random shit but buying more Labubus.
Exactly.
Less on the big ticket item, more on like the small luxury stuff, right?
Okay,
It's
yeah.
their coping mechanism.
Okay. So just according to this article, there's in August 2020, I guess, there was a lackluster demand for giant 12-foot skeleton sales at Home Depot.
12-foot what?
12-foot skeletons.
Huh?
So if people are buying less 12-foot skeletons, it's it's a recession, babe. Okay, so like ultra luxury, they're considered very low price elastic because like
ultra luxury.
What is
luxury?
ultra luxury?
like
What does that mean?
like Rolexes.
Oh.
Birkins.
Okay.
Those are low price elastic because like if you have that much money, people are buying it anyway, regardless of if it's a recession or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different category.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ultra luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the things with so this is an economics thing. It's like there are things that are low price elastic, and then there are also things that are high price elastic. This is the first time I'm using my degree in like 20 years. So high price elastic goods, they're like flowers, chocolates. So yeah, it's like the little treats. Those are high price elastic goods.
Yeah.
In that case, if my business is good on festive seasons, then we know it's not a recession.
Is your
Economy
business
is
good?
booming. It's not too bad. This year is not too bad.
There are some things that are like for sure it's a recession indicator. So like what I said was employment,
Yeah.
income,
Die. Like.
industrial production, all that sort of stuff. But then we have this other stuff where we're like saying, oh yeah, little treats and everything. Oh yeah, when people are buying more little treats, that means it's a recession.
But then again, we
there
need
might be a
to
recession
be
coming.
able to have like data of the opposite to be able to compare.
Yeah.
Let's say if it rises in sales, it doesn't mean that
Okay, fine. So maybe if we say things like, okay, so if we're saying like, okay, fine, if people are buying lipstick more or like Labubus more,
then
but
something.
but everything else they're spending less on, then maybe it's a recession indicator.
Yep.
But do you think it's the case?
And also talk about data. I think Gen Z, like I say, they consume all the
data
information from social media, right? So
then it might not even be true because it's social media.
They use a lot of hashtag, so they know like this is in trend now. Everybody are buying the same lipstick, for example. Everybody are spending on Labubu, for example. This is how they gather all the information. Their perspective to look at things that they watch, right? They don't necessarily like go and like read data on Bloomberg or whatnot, right? But then they follow hashtag.
Yeah.
They know what is in trend. Oh, lipstick is in trend. Oh, Labubu is in trend.
Yeah.
Everybody hashtag about it. Everybody, all my classmates has it. So yeah, I think that's the differences, right? We consume all our data. We get all our knowledge from the mainstream media, from Bloomberg, from Yahoo Finances, for example. So it's different from Gen Z.
Crime should be a recession indicator as well.
Sorry, what?
Sorry?
Crime should be a recession indicator as well.
Oh, right. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's an actual thing that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, but like, what you're trying to say, if we can say so, is that they don't bother verifying the facts.
I don't think they bother. It's more like this is how they express
Themselves?
themselves, right? It is how they express
Right.
themselves, right? So inflation, job insecurity, so these are the real pressure that they are feeling it, right? Even though the government have been telling them, oh, we are doing so good, our GDP is like 3% year on year, but then it's not necessarily
Doesn't feel-
something that they feel
feel
on
like it for them.
ground. So they are the one that are suffering. They are the one that has no job security.
Yeah.
They are the one that
true.
suffering from inflation, for example.
Yeah.
Like let's say one kiwi used to be 1 ringgit, now it became like 3 ringgit, for
Yeah.
example. So they are the one that's suffering from that actual recession, you know?
Yeah.
So this is why they have this recession indicator
Yeah.
for Gen Z specifically.
Actually, now that you say the same thing, value is now that you say that,
With the value of goods.
maybe
Is it?
not the value, but it's like the value
Yeah,
of
yeah,
money
yeah,
is
yeah.
different for Gen Zs
Yeah,
than
yeah,
it is
yeah,
for
yeah.
let's say like millennials or boomers.
Boomer.
Irrelevant.
Millennial?
Oh yeah, oldies.
Millennial? Millennial?
Yeah. So no, because okay, I think I said this to you guys before, and I love this quote because I got, I also got this from a reel. It was you know Amy Poehler?
No.
Do you know SNL?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so one of the ex SNL ladies, Amy Poehler, she has her own podcast now as well.
Okay.
And she said this thing where it was boomers, they're all about money.
Yeah.
Millennials, they're like, is it about money?
Emotional value.
Yeah, it was like, is it about money? And then Gen Zs
Z.
are like, what money?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Work-life balance.
No, it's work-life balance, but it's also I think it's like prosperity, right? So it's like all our parents, whatever, you know, they can afford houses, everything was cheap and everything. They all have savings, they have big houses, they have nice jobs and everything. And then it goes down to millennials, and then because they live through the prosperity and they live through, I guess, the hardships of their older parents, like telling them, okay, they need to make money, they need to be successful and everything.
Yeah.
And then it comes down to us, and then our boomer parents, they're more lenient with the millennials. And then the millennials, they are more millennials who have Gen Z children, they're more like do what you want.
Yeah.
Live your life.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We have so much pressure from our parents. Just live your life. Do whatever you want. I guess like some people, they'd say, I might not necessarily say it, but like they might say a lot of Gen Zs maybe they don't have as many skills as, you know, like the millennials or boomers like used to have. They're not as like well-read, well-informed, or
They didn't have to figure it out.
yeah.
Like, it was handed to them.
Yeah.
Either
Or like
information-
entitlement, you know, stuff like that. But that's all debatable. So
accessibility, I guess also.
yeah. So like even though we say that, it's like the Gen Zs, like you said, work-life balance. They value work-life balance more. I don't want to say they don't work as hard as the millennials or boomers used to, but
but
that's not really my point. It's just that everything is so expensive now.
Yeah.
And like even in I'm not sure if it's not just in Malaysia, but like, okay, let's say like what's the average wage in Malaysia?
Average what?
Average wage?
1,500, 1,600?
No lah.
Is that the
I
average
think the
wage?
minimum wage.
No,
Even
not minimum,
Sabah.
average.
Oh.
Average, maybe 2K?
Average.
2.5?
Malaysia. Average Malaysian salary is. Oh my god, it varies. Okay, it's data suggests the mean is 6.6k.
It cannot be.
That's quite high, I think.
That's very
Yeah.
high. That's
Yeah.
very high. Cannot be. It's like 2 plus to 3 lah, if you ask me.
Okay,
2
wait,
plus
wait.
to 3. For sure.
Data as of from the Department of Statistics of Malaysia, the median monthly salary is 2,864 ringgit a month.
Yeah.
sense.
So
Two-
that
two,
makes
three
more
lah.
sense.
That makes more
So
sense.
if people are earning 2,864,
Yeah.
a house here is at least 200k, 300k, or not even a house, an apartment in KL. If you're earning 3k a month,
Yep.
you'll be paying. You'll basically be paying for an apartment for the rest of your life.
You won't be able to even afford
Yeah, exactly.
one.
So it's different. Like back then, houses were more affordable. Now everything is not affordable at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah,
So, sorry, on top of that, because
value
you,
is different. The
you-
value of money is different.
and you mentioned like work-life balance, they value that more and everything. And I feel like it's the mindset behind all of this. The consequences is their mindset, because it's like you said, because it doesn't matter how hard they work, it seems like they can never get a breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like it becomes a whole mindset of like, I might as well just take some time off,
Yeah.
since I'm not going to be valued for the work that I do. It's
Yeah.
not as easy to like climb the ladder per se.
I don't think in Malaysia, I don't think we are at that stage yet. In like, let's say for example, in China, there are these
yeah,
terms
for
they call
sure.
躺平, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
exactly
yeah,
what
yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
just
What does it mean?
mentioned. 躺平 is like lay flat.
Yeah,
Lay flat.
horizontal.
It's like because there's no way they can break the barrier.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no way I can afford to even
They're really suffering.
I mean, there's no way I can even like afford a decent lifestyle. So why would I work so hard?
Yeah.
Right. So I think we are not at that stage yet in Malaysia,
Yeah.
because I mean you can still live like further away from the
Yeah,
city
yeah, yeah.
center. You can still, let's say you are making, let's say let's say average about 3k for example. You and your other half, you can still probably afford like
yep.
like a to rent a house,
Decent,
a
yeah.
decent house. You can still
True,
be able to
true.
But you
afford to
can't buy
rent a
anymore.
house. You can't
Oh,
buy,
that's true.
Yeah.
but you can still rent a
Yep,
house,
yep.
right? So, but let's say in Hong Kong and China, for example,
You can't.
you can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
if you talk about the first tier city or second tier
Yeah.
city, there's no way that you can afford to even rent a house with that amount of
Yeah,
salary.
yeah,
So
yeah.
might as well you lay flat.
Yeah.
This is the terms that they use in China, right? In Hong Kong, I mean everybody knows like the housing prices are crazy in China, in Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let's say you talk about like the cage bed, right? In Hong Kong, it will cost you money about 4,000-5,000 Hong Kong dollar already. So 4,000-5,000 Hong Kong dollar, let's say equivalent to about 1,000 plus to 2,000 ringgit in Malaysia. 2,000 ringgit, you can actually afford like a nice landed
Decent.
house in outskirt, maybe probably like 1 hour away from KL city center.
Yeah.
So I don't think in Malaysia we are at that stage yet. But again, all the Gen Z, they have this misconception about work-life balance because they, like I say, they absorb all the information online, right? They don't even understand what is work-life balance. Of course.
Right.
So I used to ask a lot of pretty much all of my employee about this. What do you think about work-life balance?
Right.
No OT, can off work on time. So yeah, so then that's the definition of work-life balance to them. But again, I don't believe in work-life balance because I think in order to achieve great thing,
Yeah.
not great thing lah,
There are
right?
consequences.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. So
sacrifices.
Yeah.
when you are young, I guess you
go all
need
the
to
way
work
lah.
harder.
Yeah.
You need to work harder.
Yeah.
So I do come across these terms called work-life counterbalance. So basically you counter it. You have to, in order to achieve like great thing or doing well in your career, whatever that you want to do, right? You need to work hard, right? You need to work hard.
Yeah.
So there's no balance. There's no balance in between. So basically you have to work hard. You spend all your time, let's say 90% of your time working hard. And then what does that mean of counterbalance? So when you think you are over the board already, and then you move it back a little bit. You rest for maybe you take a break. You take a short break, maybe
Yeah,
1
that
week.
makes sense, yeah.
And then after 1 week, you work
go
super
back
hard again.
Yeah.
That's counterbalance.
Yeah.
There's no way in order.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
yeah. I mean, you're gonna suffer later on in
Yeah.
your life if
Yeah.
you
If you
don't.
don't work now,
if you don't
right?
work,
Yeah.
if you want a work-life balance,
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah,
suffer.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
no
yeah.
balance in your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in your there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
balance. There's no
Yeah.
balance. You
When
can
there's
only go.
kids.
You can never afford to counterbalance it back when you are 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can only work because you want to build your family,
Yeah.
right? I mean, when you are young, there's no commitment, there's
yeah.
nothing on your
Yeah.
shoulder.
Might as
Yeah.
well.
But when you get older, all these things,
They start piling up. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. All these
yeah.
things are piling up.
Yeah.
There's no way of you to even back to this counterbalance
crazy,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So what is work-life
Yeah,
balance?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a bullshit.
Yeah, yeah,
They all
yeah.
know about work-life balance, but they don't know about life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it's like I guess I was, I don't know if I said I was. It's not misinformed. It's not misinformed. It's I maybe got the wrong impression because, okay, so yeah, so that's the normal way of thinking. It's like you work hard now so you can relax when you're older.
Yep.
But then I'm also thinking, but I'm young now. I'm only young once, so it's like I wanna
Live your life.
Yeah, I want to live my life now and think about saving money later. You know what I mean? Because no, because it's like, okay, so let's say, okay, fine, I want to go to Burning Man, I want to go to Coachella.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do that I can, but I can't experience it the same way as I would when I'm like 25.
You see, the balance they are talking about now is not about enjoying life.
Yeah.
It's the balanced lifestyle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to 9 to 5, work 9 to 5.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
want to work any OT. I don't want to work on the weekend.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not about you not going to Coachella,
Yeah.
you not going to travel. You can still travel
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
travel only takes maybe I mean you have like a certain number of days of leave every year, right? So it's not about you not enjoying your life, but it's about their definition of work-life balance is
it's
like
different.
I have a balanced lifestyle on a weekly basis. Or
Yeah.
I work 5 days, or I work 4 days. I don't have to work
It's
on the
very
weekend.
rigid.
Yeah.
So that's their definition of work-life balance.
And, you know, yeah, it's more like work. I guess if that's the case, it's more like the work-life balance, but it's work-life balance your whole life.
Yeah,
It's like you're-
on a
it's like-
weekly basis.
Yeah, it's like you're doing a 9 to 5 until you die.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Instead of having like 12-hour work days,
Some
Yeah.
days.
or like working weekends until you're like,
yeah.
let's say
40.
40, and then having the rest of your life to like chill a bit more.
Yeah.
Where I guess that's another sort of work-life balance, because you're like, okay, yeah, we are hard for the first 40 years of our life, and then we're chill for the
Chill.
other 40 years of our life.
But we still work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also counterbalance,
Yeah.
but on a yearly basis, right?
Yeah.
On a yearly basis. Yeah.
Right,
so
right.
I think all these Gen Z they all got misled by all the social media.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody was
No
talking about,
context.
because you see all the influencer, like what do you call key opinion leader.
Yeah.
They're living like a lifestyle. They're living like a good lifestyle.
But it's all fake, yeah.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Yeah.
They only look at the bright side. They only
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
oh, this person
surface
has been
level.
traveling around the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
also want to be like them. So I
Yeah.
think, and then
Or like looking for the easy way. I mean, everyone's looking for the easy way, but I mean, it's more so.
Not willing to put in the
And
hours.
now I guess now it's like more so, oh yeah, there's a work-life balance, but I want the easy way of making 100K a day, like right now.
Yeah.
Like
It's a-
trading, it becomes
yeah,
a trend.
yeah. Instead of having like like
Doing honest
yeah,
hard work.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's,
Okay.
it's a big misconception for Gen Z.
Would
if
you say
ask me.
also in that case they will be less ambitious as a whole generation?
They are still ambitious. They think big.
Delulu-bicious?
They think big, but they don't take action, and
To
they
get
still
there.
and they still think by achieving that work-life balance is workable. I can still be work-life balance while achieving big goal, become the next Elon Musk. You know, they only see on the good side is like, oh, you know how much money he make in one day. And again, I think comparing to my era,
We're not as coddled, I don't think.
Yeah.
We're thicker skinned.
okay,
Are
so
we?
I've heard several stories, like first-hand stories of, like, okay, if I wanted to take time off, like let's say like 10 years ago, if I wanted to take time off because I was like, oh, I needed a mental health break, they'd be like, okay,
Shut up and get back
no,
to
no,
your
no, no,
desk.
they'd be like, okay, you can take a
Practical.
mental health break, but you're not, but you're gonna have to find another job somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here, if you want to take a mental health break, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Do you need
go,
a
go, go.
recommendation?
Yeah.
So sabbatical,
Yeah.
not even a thing
Yeah.
back in those days.
Yeah,
And-
I know. Like everyone's taking sabbatical now. I'm like, aren't sabbaticals only for professors And everyone's like, oh no.
Apparently, this is very common now.
Yeah, it is.
Apparently, this is very common now.
Yeah, I knew this one guy who, like I was just talking to him. I don't think he even did that much work, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going on a sabbatical for 3 months." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And you're gonna come back and you're gonna have the job ready for you? And he's like, "No, I'm gonna have to find another job." And I'm like,
How's that work?
yeah, then that's not a sabbatical.
That's just
You're
like
unemployed.
saying-
Yeah, you're unemployed. I was like, no, it's a sabbatical. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
And also, sabbaticals are only for professors.
Oh, really?
Pretty much. No. So, like, okay, the only time I've heard is before now, when I've heard of sabbaticals, they're for professors. So professors are the only ones who take sabbaticals.
Oh.
Like
Why?
old. Okay, fine. Let me look for the definition.
It became so common now.
But
Like for most of the company, they have this sabbatical leave or something.
Yeah.
What? I've never heard of this.
Sabbatical?
Leave? Sabbatical leave? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've never
You
Wait.
can
heard
you
it
can
professionally used corporate
you can
use.
corporate lah.
A sabbatical is like a lot of companies are offering it now.
Yeah.
But
Only corporate.
yeah, but when you say a lot of companies are offering it now, that means it's a new thing. Like it's a relatively new concept for just companies or whatever to offer a sabbatical leave. So when
Only for C-level.
okay, so I'm not sure. My friend was C-level, so I guess he was just unemployed, like straight up.
It's a new way to say that you're unemployed.
I guess so. Yeah, it's like a gentler way to say unemployed.
Not exactly.
But no,
I
but
mean,
if they're
I
offering
do
proper
have some
sabbatical
friends.
leave now, that means it's proper now. But like, let's say it's before COVID, I've never heard of sabbatical. Like,
I've
a
never heard of
I've never heard of sabbatical leave if it wasn't for
that guy.
professionals or academic people.
But again, I mean, those things only happen to the people that I know. All these people are usually the owners of the companies.
Which is fine,
Oh,
I
they
guess.
are-
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
story.
yeah.
and-
So
Yeah.
because it's not like they clock in 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I had a train of thought.
What?
We went quite far away from recession indicators.
But like there's only so much, right?
Yeah.
But I think diving into like the mindset of the Gen Z is also like core of
Yeah.
why they think the way they think and why all these like crazy things keep coming up that we don't understand, right?
I think it's also because of the exposure of social media. It also gave them the wrong impression of I might be getting rich,
Oh, okay. I do
Easily.
have one.
right?
I have a recession indicator. So more professionals, like actual professionals, like doctors and like engineers or whatever, are becoming wanting a social media presence and or are becoming KOLs. Like back in the days, you don't see that being like like if doctors are just doctors, like you know what I mean, and then like engineers are just engineers. They just do their work and then you don't really know what goes on. But everyone now, like almost like even professionals, they're like, oh, follow me to work, like a day in my life kind of thing. The recession indicator is that the fact that doctors and like real professionals like lawyers even they're on social media now is because they don't earn as much as they used to.
I think
Without having to advertise.
I think for that part, it's also because let's say you talk about doctor, right? It's
What if it's just narcissism?
they are prohibited to
Oh, really?
advertise.
Really?
That's why you cannot see like advertisement about I'm cure this patient and
Oh,
that.
okay.
So
But like they have their own
it's
like
regulated.
IPO
It's
what do you call it?
regulated. But this is like a gray area that can do it on the social media because technically I'm not advertising
Personal
about
branding.
personal branding. I'm doing my IP rather
Yeah.
than I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah,
you
yeah.
my clinic is like so good at this and that.
Yeah.
So you are prohibited on like that's why you don't see like TV ads about
Right.
doctors.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a law, it's regulated.
Oh, so social media became a gray area, that's why.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you're
Oh, I
building
didn't
your own
know that.
IP. So that's on the doctor
Ah.
side. That's on
But would
doctor-
you agree to say that the fact that they spend so much effort and time doing this, is it like willingness or just like they want exposure?
It's a channel of marketing. You need to have presence online because again you see, right, you are tackling a group of people that they don't consume their information from the mainstream media, from newspaper. They go on TikTok,
Yeah,
they go
yeah,
on
yeah,
Facebook,
yeah,
they go on
yeah.
Instagram, right? You,
It's like the
you
new Yellow Pages.
exactly. So
Okay,
I think you need to have a presence online. I think
enough.
that's solely on the marketing purposes. Of course, I'm pretty sure there are some doctors they want to be famous, right? So naturally,
Yeah.
with more
Narcissists.
yeah, I'm sure there are
my
people
gosh,
like that.
wow.
Yeah. So I think it's about the marketing purposes,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
You know what? We cracked the code. Recession indicator.
Narcissism.
It's not it.
The rise of
Doesn't
narcissists.
exist.
Recession indicator. No. I mean, no. Like I said before, there's like the de facto recession indicators, but
the Gen Z recession.
Yeah. Like we said before, Gen Zs see value differently.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, see value differently. So they have like
100%.
for them, there's a different set of recession indicators.
Yeah, they see things differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the little treats, which is
Versus.
so that was my point. I think I didn't get to it, but that was my point. The little treats, that's the only thing they can afford anyway, because they can't afford a house or whatever. So that's the only thing they can afford.
That's
so
the
they
only thing they can flex.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Hello guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Welcome to my unboxing of my 50th.
Yeah. So it's yes.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the only thing they can afford anyway. So that's for them. Would that be low price elasticity or high price? That's low price elasticity if that's the only thing they can afford, and they still buy a lot of it because
wait.
they
So
can't afford
like
anything
when
else.
you talk about ultra luxury, and then there was what? How many are there in
There's just high price elasticity and low price
Okay.
elasticity.
Okay.
And ultra, right? Ultra,
Which one is
high,
ultra
low.
luxury?
Ultra and high and low.
No. Okay, so ultra luxury is a low price elastic because when you can afford a Birkin, you'll just buy whatever you want.
Yeah,
money's
it's
not an issue anyway.
Yep.
It'll be the difference between buying Sowasu moisturizer
Yeah.
versus Nivea moisturizer.
Uh,
So that will be high price elasticity. Characteristics of high price elasticity is high responsiveness. So consumers drastically alter their purchasing behavior, which is buy more or much less when the price changes. And then it also has many substitutes. So that's why I'm saying like the Sowasu and stuff. And then if it's versus it's luxury or non-essential. So if it's designer goods, here it says, or anything non-essential, they tend to be highly elastic. But that's different from ultra luxury.
yeah.
And then And then so like the examples would be luxury cars,
Right.
specific brands of of soda. So if I guess we can say it, if Coke raises prices, many consumers will easily switch to Pepsi.
Right.
So that's high price elastic. Okay, and then low price elasticity. I'm sure it'll say ultra luxury. Wait. Necessity, addictive goods, unique products.
Yeah.
So necessities like basic groceries like bread and milk, that's low price elastic because people need it. And then addictive goods, tobacco, alcohol.
Yeah.
I feel like people drink more alcohol during recession. Right?
But cheap alcohol.
Yeah.
You think?
But
During recession?
yeah,
Is it?
during bad times people drink more.
Should
I have
we?
no idea.
Should we
Yeah.
check?
Really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because they want to feel, it's like recession pop. They want to drink more. They want to feel good.
Right.
So they drink more alcohol.
That's the easiest way to.
Or
feel
if they're
good.
unemployed, like you know, a lot of like, touch wood, but it's like a lot of like unemployed people. They're, I think, from what I see on TV anyway, when you're unemployed, you drink more. Yeah, exactly. And you
like-
see like a
it's
lot of drunk
always-
people, you know.
It's always that frame of like empty bottles and
Yeah.
empty,
Yeah.
on the
When you're
floor.
unemployed and everything, and then you know, yeah.
You know something's up. It's either a really big breakup or like you're unemployed.
Yeah. And unique products. So that's
Unique product.
Yeah. That's my Birkin because Birkins are unique. So those are low price elastic.
Okay.
So in that sense, for Gen Zs, Labubus there's a chance to get a unique Labubu. So those are low price.
Yeah.
Those are low price elastic.
Would you think like the future of all of this mindset and then the consequences of this whole thing as Gen Zs? Like, do you think
It always shifts, right? Because it's like, so like, okay, so in I think like let's say in like family business, there's always a cycle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll always be the older
Phase.
phases. So it's like always the older generation, they want to stick with tradition and what works the best. And then when the new generation comes in, they're like, oh no, we have to change how we work and then everything. So but they're not allowed to change because the old guard is still there, keeping everything traditional. Then when they get their way, they go totally
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, the
totally
opposite
radical, the
spectrum.
opposite spectrum, and then they go too far radical, and they lose their core business, and then or like they totally like miss the plot,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
it goes
yeah,
back
yeah.
to being traditional. They're like, okay, let's
Yeah,
stick with
yeah,
what
yeah,
works
yeah,
best.
yeah.
So it keeps on going through that
Yeah, yeah.
sort of cycle. So
Yeah.
that might be. So I think that's sort of what will be the same thing
Yeah,
with
yeah.
generations
Like
as well.
missing the point.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, so the boomers, they've lived through like hardship because they were like it was during like World War
Hard earned
II.
money.
Yeah, it's like World War II, whatever. And then it goes, and so they teach the baby boomers to be like to work hard. They like instill in them like the value of like working hard
The
and
value
everything.
of money and
Yeah.
work hard.
So yes, so they're prosperous, and then they teach them. So and then with the millennials, they're a bit more like lenient with them. And then when they're lenient with us, we develop our own thoughts and everything. Yeah, we develop our own thoughts, but then I think like at least in Asia, you still get your tiger moms, tiger dads, and everything. And then when the millennials get children, they're like, oh no, okay, we don't want that. We want to give our children like the freedom and everything. So now the Gen Zs have freedom.
The cycle of like,
Yeah, freedom, and then they have the freedom, and then they will teach their children to be like, okay, a bit too much freedom is a bit too much. So they'll like go back to being traditional, and then it'll go down and then go up again, and then go down and go up again. So
You mean Gen Z? They're
maybe
Yes.
Gen
Offspring?
Alpha.
yeah, I mean it hasn't happened yet, but I mean
Yeah.
that's like I feel like that's a likely cycle.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
know, because no,
Interesting point.
because that's the thing, right? We like
Interesting point.
it's like we learn from the previous generation's
Yeah.
mistakes.
yeah.
So like when we so I mean that was, I don't want to say that's my family's dynamic, but like when I see other families, I'll be like, okay, I don't want to raise my children like that. So you try to raise them like a different, better way.
Yeah.
It might not actually be better, but you want to raise them a different way that you think is better.
Yeah.
And then
Interesting point.
and then the generation below that, when they see you, when they see how they're raised, they'll be like, okay, I don't want to be raised like this. I think I want to raise my child a different way.
Yeah.
So it'll
Yeah, interesting.
And then ultimately they'll realize, oh, actually,
yeah.
we need to go back to the roots. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah.
fashion, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
yeah, it'll go through like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
sticking. So
I feel like it's nearer to that, going back to like, the
not yet. I don't think because Gen Zs are still like 20,
I don't know.
25.
I don't. Yeah, not
So
yet.
not yet, but they
But that's
might-
why I say it's interesting point.
Yeah.
Potentially. That's why I say it's interesting point. Really interesting.
Yeah, no, because like for me, like maybe just the children now anyway, like when the millennials are having children now, which I guess you consider Gen Alpha, they're there's a lot of like gentle parenting involved and everything. When our parents used to like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So there's a lot of gentle parenting. They if the parent isn't strong enough, they let the kid do what they want, and then they become terrorists later in life.
yeah.
So those children might be terrorists as they grow older. Okay, fine. There's so many generations. It's like
Yeah.
it's like human by human. So maybe it's like the Gen Zs will be like, okay, I see the millennials' children's. They're
Chaos.
they're demon babies. I want to raise my children differently.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So then yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
It's a good cycle.
Interesting.
Cycle.
Not
Yeah.
bad. Not bad.
It's a
Not
cycle.
bad. I like it. Interesting. That's a very fair point and interesting point.
Thank you.
Yeah. We will see in 10 years time.
20.
10 years time.
In 50 years time.
In 10 years.
And my
I mean,
theory was
10
right.
years, the
Yeah.
way they raise their child will be different. Let's say Gen Z, you talk about they are probably like in their early 20s. You give them another 10 years, you probably start seeing how they raise their kids.
Yeah.
But interesting point. Yeah, very fair point. Interesting.
I mean, I think like, let me think. Some of my friends, okay, let's just say with like my sisters, they're raising their children hard but gentle.
Yeah, same.
Hard,
My
but
peers,
gentle.
like
Hard.
millennials especially.
yeah.
How,
They're like
define
they're,
your heart.
They're
They're not strict, but it's
they're
like
strict about certain things
Yeah.
that have to
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
strict.
yeah.
They're not strict about everything.
Yeah.
Some days you can like, okay, you can have one more candy or two more candies, but like, don't be a brat
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they will actually get an earful if they're a brat, but like ask nicely and then be nice, be good. You
Yeah.
can get whatever, like not whatever you want,
Yeah.
like in a you know. But yeah, definitely millennials are raising their children like
Yeah.
that are Gen Alpha a little bit that way,
Yeah.
in a way where like, okay,
Yeah.
things that need to be in order.
Millennials are more
shout.
involved in the parenting. I feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, 100%.
I feel them
100%.
more.
I think Gen
they're more
Z can't
involved.
tell yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't tell with Gen Z
Yeah.
yet.
And I think millennial, the reason why they all raise their kid in such a way is because they didn't want the kids to go through what they have been
Generational
through.
trauma.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
your dad
yeah.
will slap you,
Yeah,
your teacher will slap you, everybody will slap you.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Now it's
your
like
entire
almost
childhood is like being slapped by
illegal.
someone else.
Yeah.
Smack. Like the belts, the hangers. I don't know
Yeah.
about you guys, but like
No, I was a
mean,
good kid. I didn't get smacked.
it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
I get smashed a lot by my teacher, man.
Oh, your teacher.
Your
Same.
teacher.
My
But-
teacher, man.
Back then in primary school, like they smack us so much, like they rotan us so much, you can hear somebody getting smacked from the next class.
Ah.
It's
Same.
like-
My primary school, man.
Okay,
so
you're
the entire 6
you're a
years.
millennial. You're
Am I right? Am I
You're
right?
a millennial.
And then so right after I left primary school, it became
stopped.
like illegal to like do that,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like all the time, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That helped shape me in some ways, but at the same time that traumatized me
Mhm.
also. So like yeah, it's a bit of both. We turned out all right.
I think so. Yeah.
There was a lot of work to do like internally, but like, we turned out all right.
I hope so.
Yeah. So maybe in that sense, the Gen Zs have it easy.
Yeah.
They have all this like privilege to be whatever they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They have.
Whatever that is.
Timmy just
What's that?
TikTok dances.
Yeah. I think the revenue stream for them is a lot more compared to us. Back in those days, in order to
Yeah.
make money, you need to either be in business or be a professional, right?
Yeah, true.
In order to make good money, right?
Yeah.
There's no other way
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Or
I mean,
come
like,
from a
what's
wealthy
Twitch?
family,
Yeah.
right? So, but for Gen Z, getting rich might be tomorrow. They can
True.
invest in crypto.
Yeah.
They can invest in
True.
stock market. They can also be an influencer, key opinion leader. And back in those days, in order for you to basically to do a stock investment, you need to go to the bank,
Yeah.
apply, wait for a week, right?
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to invest in like overseas account, you
Yeah.
need to wait for another week.
I mean, we can do it all now.
Yeah.
yeah, this
And we
day,
probably have more money
this
than
day,
Gen Zs.
this day, go on Mumu.
Yeah.
1 minute,
Yeah,
you can invest
true,
in US
true.
stock already.
True.
So it gave them the perception of getting rich is easier. And also again, I think this mentality, you see back in those days, unless you are, let's say my era, right? Unless you're coming from the wealthy family, you live in a wealthy neighborhood. So all your surroundings are all like the similar standard, like all the wealthy people. But if you come from a normal family, if you don't live in like a wealthy neighborhood, rich is quite further away from you, because you might have one cousin or one relative who is like doing well, or you probably have like one or two friends who is loaded in your right. So but this day, rich people seems very close to everyone else, because why? You have
Right.
social media.
Right.
You always, or you follow this influencer living a luxurious life, and then
Yeah.
you have a lot of friends on social media
Yeah.
that it seems like they are doing so well.
Yeah.
So everything seems and feels so near to you.
Yeah.
And you always, you have that perception of, I mean, I could be the next millionaire tomorrow because, I have this friend who just hit a jackpot from cryptocurrency. It's like, he invested into this meme coin, and then the next day,
He lost 10 million.
yeah, exactly. So it was never a thing that happens back in those days, you know. I mean, the only way you get rich fast is to get a lottery, but it's like 1 in a million. But this day, crypto is like, you always have friends who is like doing so well on crypto market or stock market. So I think this is the differences between our era, my era, and the Gen Z era.
So you'd say there are more opportunities now to get rich?
Definitely, there's more opportunity now to get rich.
I wouldn't say, okay,
compared to our
fine.
time.
If that's the case, I wouldn't say 1% rich, but
Yeah.
like
just-
maybe
Yeah.
Top 10.
top 10%, top
It feels
20%.
a lot easier. It feels a lot easier closer to these people. Like back in those days, like really there's no, I mean, like I just mentioned earlier, in order to be wealthy, you need to, it's either in business or be a professional, be a doctor, be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But this day, you don't have to be a professional. You just have to dance in front of a camera.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
That's so
Correct,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Correct, right?
Yeah.
So this is why I think Gen Z and like us, millennial,
Different.
are very different.
Yeah.
So yeah, the way they see things, the way they
Right.
yeah,
That's
it's-
why they're more laid back, I guess.
Like I say, maybe they all have this misconception of I could be the next millionaire.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't necessarily work hard in my job,
Yeah.
so long I dance long enough in front of the camera.
Yeah.
That's just delusional,
Yeah.
right?
Delusional for sure, 100%. I mean, maybe it's not 1 in a million now.
Yeah.
Back in our era, maybe 1 in a million, but now it's still 1 in 100,000.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's still very hard.
Join us next week as we invite a real life Gen Z to talk to us about their actual views instead of millennials talking about Gen Z's actual views.
I think we could. Oh,
Yeah. Invite a real Gen Z.
oh. Invite Gen Z over.
Yeah.
Yes, sounds
So
good.
would you like to come over and talk about like the differences between millennials
Yeah,
and Gen Z?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we'll give you Labubu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For
Yeah.
free.
He'll be like, what's in it for me? A Labubu.
Labubu. You
Yeah.
can pick one.
Christ.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
But we will invite a real life Gen Z
Yeah.
human
Yeah.
so that we can continue this
The
conversation.
unicorns of the year 2025.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
See you.
Bye.
Thumbnail.
Yeah.
We need a thumbnail.